So there's some feedback going around of the latest Fallout 76 update that introduced fishing within the community over on the Fallout 76 Reddit. And in this video, I'm going to be getting into the feedback, and also I'm going to be getting into some other changes that were introduced in this update besides the fishing. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. As you can see, starting off here with screw fishing. Seriously. Hate it in games. I don't buy fishing games, don't play fishing games, don't play little fishing quests or activities in games. I was talking with someone here and they thought it was just going to be a fun little side activity. Didn't occur to them that it'll be a daily or weekly task. I'll skip it every chance I get. Huge time suck and another avenue to nickel and dime you on skins. Heck, my favorite daily tasks are ones I can entirely complete in 20 to 30 minutes, then either move on to playing as I choose or stopping my play session. And the comments on this post, a lot of them aren't really in favor of it either. A lot of people are just saying, it's whatever, it's fishing in the game, that's cool and all. Some people do like it though. It's really fun. Not as good as RDR2 though. Love the swamp creature and the captain already. Loving this update! And then we got other comments saying, try to fish, can't do this in power armor. Okay, bye. That's kind of funny because Bethesda's art cover for this update literally shows a guy in power armor fishing. And I was seeing some comments about that within this post. This person stated, I hate the dailies. Like, it seriously makes me not want to play. I might get into a Fallout mood, open up the game, and see the challenges right away. After working all day, last dang thing I want to do is work these boring, repetitive actions. Feel obligated because of fear of missing out on the items for the season. These dailies take so much enjoyment out of the game for me. And yeah, this seems to be quite the complaint of fear of missing out, which, speaking of missing out, this is another fishing feedback post. It literally states, fishing feedback, not for me. So I've loved fishing in games for as long as I can remember, other MMOs and even old NES fishing games. I cannot find the energy in me to do this fishing minigame. I legit Alt F forward out of the game, and I'm dreading having to log back in. I get it's not for everyone, and I get I don't have to do it, except I kinda do. With 2 tasks a day fishing related and only 2 free rerolls, I just found this the worst. I don't knock the developers, and I know I could have downloaded the PETS and provided feedback, but I didn't. Does anyone else just dread this? And literally a lot of the comments, I hate fishing in video games, that wasn't built for fishing. No Man's Sky, Skyrim, and etc. I tried the fishing in ESO and was no fan. Now I've tried it in Fallout 76. I'll be re-rolling the score fishing dailies for something exciting like gathering soap. Maybe I'll get lucky like I did last week when I re-rolled the Alien score daily and got epic replacements 5 out of 6 days. Yeah, so a lot of players are not in favor of this fishing update. For one, they just find it repetitive and boring, and another is, well, they have to do it, and if they don't, they have a fear of missing out on some items that they can't get without doing the fishing. Anyways, carrying on here before I get into my own thoughts, which I covered my own thoughts in a previous video, but I'll go over them quickly in this video. As you see, here's another post about it. Fishing sucks. Can't even get MK2 real. Can't even catch rare fish because seriously, how is this fair? Let's go ahead and click this photo. So they use their improved bait, and it looks like they have to catch the fish, and their radar is way down here. So they'd have to be really quick to get to that fish. But anyways, carrying on here, you either have to grind dailies and be super lucky to get the line strength mod, or you're basically screwed. This has to be the worst minigame I've ever tried in a video game, because at one point, it isn't even fun. Literally burned through 34 improved baits and nothing. And yeah, this seems to be a common issue with wasting bait. Here's another one. Fishing is pretty brutal. The reaction time window is pretty daggone short for rare fish. Also, I can't fine-tune how much I move that pizza slice, aka the radar, on the fishing interface with the mouse and keyboard. I wonder if using a controller would be better. And on the positive side, someone posted some tips over how to get the fish easier. This person said, I posted this in another post. The bobber will also move in the direction of the fish in the circle. If the bobber shoots left, the fish will be on the left side of the circle. If the bobber goes down, it will be at the bottom. If it goes right, you guessed it, the fish will be on the right. This way you can get moving with your mouse or controller to catch the harder ones. Someone stated, thanks for that, I'm old and you need the reaction times of a fly to get that pizza slice in the right place. I'm not going to do well with fishing, methinks. And we got some positive posts here. I love fishing a lot. You know, this person really likes it. And then there's some complaints here. The only thing I don't like is catching junk. How the F does junk decide to pull away? It wasn't too bad at first until you realize how they basically time-gated it with improved bait to keep engagement metrics up. Basically killed and desired to continue fishing or even engage with it. And the fact they have an actual $30 paywall to get more improved bait is the real cherry on top of this crap sandwich. Wow! A $30 paywall? You know, this guy was trying to be optimistic and positive, but, you know, people kept it real with him. And that's what you got to do. You got to keep it real. And to be honest, quite frankly, this update isn't genuinely for me. I mean, I like fishing in real life and all, but I don't know, just sitting around catching digital fish isn't something I find fun, especially in a looter shooter game. I would think like maybe some kind of new boss to take on, you know, a new raid or a new region to explore with new locations, or heck, bring Nuclear Winter back for a limited amount of time sometimes, you know. I feel like that would be fun, and I think it would get their engagement up. You know, they don't have to keep it around for, you know, a long time. They can just keep it around for a limited amount of time, like they do Fosnot or something. Then again, I don't know how difficult that would be, but dude, I would have fun jumping into a Nuclear Winter match like back in the day. Just getting on to pwn some noobs, you know what I'm talking about? No, seriously though. That's something I would want. But it doesn't matter what I want. It matters what the majority of players want. And if the majority of players wanted a fishing feature, then hey, so be it. They added a fishing feature for the players. I totally get it. They want to keep players engaged. And don't get me wrong, there were other positive posts about this fishing update stating that they liked it. But from what I was reading through the Fallout 76 Reddit at least, it seemed like the majority wasn't in favor of it and they were pretty strong with their opinion. On the other hand, there was plenty of players that really just didn't even care that the fishing feature was a thing. They're just like, okay, whatever, I'm just going to continue going on and doing my thing within the game. It's for some players and it's not for some players. Which I totally get that, but we do have months until we get something new. You got to think, the season lasts for months, so this is it for a while. I was actually seeing some players talk about that this isn't going to keep them engaged for months within the game. But who knows? There was also a lot of players that were upset about the recent changes that Bethesda has made to like perk cards and nerfs and buffs and stuff, but there was also a lot of players that were happy about them too. So yeah, now I'm going to get into that. This was all provided on the Fallout 76 Inside the Vault article, straight from Bethesda. As you can see here, Combat Rebalance, a year-end update. Last year we kicked off our long-term combat rebalancing project with the Skyline Valley update. We started this work wanting to make sure combat felt interesting and engaging. Most if not all weapons felt satisfying to use. All builds and weapons should have a reasonable amount of viability. Manual aim should be satisfying and effective while still allowing VATS to perform well in specialized builds. Majority of players should have an opportunity to participate in group content. Reduce the need for tag the mob playstyles. And this is the changes they have made. So they made a combat balance to harpoon gun. Base damage was increased from 175 to 245, so they buffed that up. Anyways, barb mod range now matches base weapon and bleed length lasts 15 seconds. Damage per tick has also increased as well. Fletchett's mod range now matches the base weapon, and Fletchett's now get a 20% buff to damage. Reload speed increased by 10%. Ammo capacity increased from 1 to 3. Delay between shots increased by 25%. Crit multiplier increased from 2 to 2.5. Sneak multiplier increased from 2 to 2.25. Weight decreased from 16 to 14. And they also adjusted the out of range damage multiplier for the following weapons. I'm not going to read all of this off. I mean, you could see it right here. If I just read all this off, it'd be like 0.1 to 0.5, 0.1 to 0.5, 0.1. I mean, a lot of it's 0.1 to 0.5. And then we got some 0.25 to 0.5. So yeah. Next up here, they lowered base action point costs for the following weapons: Alien Disintegrator, Handmade Rifle, Assault Rifle, Combat Rifle, the Fixer, Radium Rifle, Submachine Gun, Tesla Rifle, and the V63 Laser Carbine. Love seeing that Fixer on there. Shoo-wee. Anyways, they have now increased base damage for the following weapons. So they have increased the damage for Alien Disintegrator, Handmade Rifle, Assault Rifle, Combat Rifle, the Fixer, heck yeah. It says a note here, the weapon no longer has an additional 20% damage bonus over the Combat Rifle. What? What? It's way more difficult to get than the Combat Rifle. Oh well. Radium Rifle, Submachine Gun, Railway Rifle, Laser Gun, Ultrasight Laser Gun. Note, now fires 4 shots a second when semi-automatic, same as Laser Gun instead of 5. Okay. Plasma Gun, Enclave Plasma Gun, 10mm Submachine Gun, Combat Shotgun, Tesla Rifle, Lever Action Rifle, Double Barrel Shotgun. Note, now fires 2.5 times per second instead of 3.57 times per second. Okay. Cold Shoulder. Note, now fires 2. Okay, the same thing. So 2.5 instead of 3.57. Hunting Rifle, Gauss Pistol. Now deals 33% damage instead of 50% damage when uncharged. Gauss Rifle now deals, okay, the same thing. Gauss shotgun, same thing, 33% damage instead of 50. V63 laser carbine's been buffed. Pump action shotgun's been buffed. Pipe bolt action's been buffed. Pipe revolver, pipe gun, pepper shaker, black powdered rifle, and the dragon. Whoa, the dragon got a big buff. 255 to 541. Same with the black powdered rifle. It's good to see those get some major buffs. The dragon's been out of play for a while. Might be back in play. Anyways, the following weapons no longer receive an action point cost reduction from their automatic receivers. Alien Disintegrator, Handmade Rifle, Assault Rifle, Combat Rifle, the Fixer, Radium Rifle, Submachine Gun. Note, this weapon is always automatic but still had its AP cost reduced by its receivers. Okay. Adjusted the base critical attack damage bonus for the following weapons. So as you can see here, a lot of 2.0 to 2.25s. Alien Disintegrator, Handmade Rifle, Assault Rifle, Combat Rifle, Radium Rifle, Tesla Rifle, and then Gamma Gun 2.75, they lowered it to 2.5. Railway Rifle went up 0.25, Laser Gun went up 0.5, Ultrasight Laser Gun 0.5. So yeah, quite a bit here has went up. As you can see, Cold Shoulder, Tesla, Lever Action Rifle. Carrying on here, adjusted the base sneak attack damage bonuses for the following weapons. Is the Fixture in here? Wow, the Fixture went up. Alright, the Fixture's getting a nice buff. Alien Disintegrator, Handmade Rifle, Assault Rifle, Combat Rifle, the Fixer went up majorly. Radium Rifle, Tesla Rifle, Gamma Gun, Railway Rifle, Laser Gun. Sheesh, a lot here. Tesla Rifle, Lever Action Rifle. I mean, you can read it. A lot has just shot up. That's good. Automatic receivers from semi-automatic weapons now have the following. 20% reduction in critical attack damage, 20% reduction in sneak attack damage, 30% reduction in base damage, instead of a 10% additive reduction in damage for most automatic receivers. Okay, that's good. Combat shotgun automatic receivers no longer increase AP cost by 10%, now has a 30% increase in attack speed, up from 10%, now has a 10% reduction to base damage, critical attack damage, and sneak damage. Okay. Increased base damage for the following melee weapons. Basically freaking everything here. Assaultron Blade, Baseball Bat, Baton, Bear Arm, Blade of Basset. Sheesh. Everything's got a nice buff. Deathclaw Gauntlet went up quite a bit, 55 to 69. Wow, Grodnik Axe went up quite a bit, to 107. Grodnik Axe has the strongest. Oh, and the Super Sledge. Super Sledge and Grodnik Axe right now are the strongest two-handed melee weapons. That's went up buff wise. That's crazy. Second highest damage is the Warglaive at 104. Anyways, weapon mod adjustments. Plasma gun mod changes. Remove the cone of fire increase on plasma gun sniper mods. Remove the action point reduction on plasma gun standard and bruising grip mods. Plasma gun flamer mods now reduce action point costs by 10%. Gatling plasma beam splitter mod adjustments. Fire rate reduction from negative 20% to 35% to negative 35%. Damage bonus 20% to 35%. That's good. Cone of fire and recoil increased. Range reduced. Projectile count 4 to 5. Ammo capacity reduced by 50%. Yikes! AP cost increased by 50%. Yikes too! Even though I don't really use AP that much with the Gatling plasma, to be real. Remove the AP cost increased on the following mods. Light machine gun, standard prime receivers, Tesla automatic barrel. Remove the energy damage decreased on the following mods. Tesla automatic barrel. Plasma and Enclave plasma gun splitter mod adjustments. As you can see there. Sheesh, there's a lot to go over here, guys. Plasma and Enclave plasma gun flamer mod adjustments. Ammo capacity has been increased. And removed 40% damage bonus. So many buffs here. Removed an unintended additional damage bonus on the following mods for the Western Revolver. Calibrated Receiver, Vicious Receiver, Severe Receiver, and Refined Receiver. Now to the miscellaneous combat changes. Quite a bit here to go over. I mean, as you can see, we got still quite a lot here. That's why I'm not just reading every little thing off, or this video would be like a freaking hour long. They are putting in work on the changes though. For sure with this update. So they did quite a bit of miscellaneous combat changes here too. The good ones to know is increased durability for most weapons. Not going to read all these off. If you want, you can pause it though and look into them yourself. They made quite a bit of limb damage and crippling changes too, as you can see here. So yeah, Bashers now for gun bashing goes up to 75% limb damage. Enforcer now goes up to 15% stagger and it deals 75% limb damage. Modern Renegade small guns now go up to plus 45% hit fire accuracy and 75% limb damage. One gun army for heavy guns, they now go up to 12% stagger chance and 75% chance for limb damage. Tormentor now moves from luck to perception. Rank 1, you deal 20% more damage per crippled limb your target has. Point cost increased from 1 to 2. Removed ranks 2 and 3. Bone Shatter now goes up to 75% limb damage. Mutations, fixes, twisted muscles, standard plus 25% melee, unarmed, and bashing damage, and plus 50% limb damage. With range of numbers now plus 35% melee, unarmed, and bashing damage, and plus 62% limb damage. Weapons. These weapons all now have plus 50% limb damage instead of a chance to cripple. Black Powdered Rifle, Bone Hammer, and the Dragon. Weapon mods. These weapon mods now have plus 50% limb damage instead of a chance to cripple the target. And there's quite a bit here. As you can see, melee weapon wise, baseball bat, barrel arm, boxing glove, golf club, lead pipe, pipe wrench, sheep squatch stuff, sledgehammer, and the tenderizer. Salty. Enemies no longer immune to crippling. Grimbot, Dr. Blackburn, I mean quite a bit here. Jersey Devil, as you can see, just quite a bit. Perks, we are removing the perk requirements from crafting. Since you already need to, now this is something really important that I feel like I should cover in this video, and that is the perk changes. Perks. We are removing the perk requirements from crafting since you already need to have learned the plan. We feel that requiring you to change your perk loadout to craft is cumbersome. There, that's actually a solid change right there. That's going to benefit a lot of players. Ghoul perks are no longer able to be picked when leveling up as human. Human-specific perks are no longer able to be picked when leveling up as ghoul. When leveling up, perk cards now sort alphabetically in all languages. Update the loading screen tips for perks. Add a help entry for kill streak. Fireproof, no longer required to make the flamethrower trap. And home defense. Workshop traps no longer require home defense to make. So yeah, pretty nice changes there. Renamed perks from science to science with an exclamation point. Science! Science expert to pyrotechnical. Science master to cryologist. Why change this stuff? Rifleman to downranger. Rifleman expert to scoped up. Rifleman master to smart shot. Commando to center masochist. Commando expert to fast fighter. Commando master to number cruncher. Shotgunner to easy target. Shotgunner expert to love the spread. Shotgun master to shotgun champ. I guess they just felt like changing that. I have no idea why that was even needed to be changed. Perk balancing. Armorer reduced to a single rank. Powersmith reduced to a single rank. Slow metabolizer now at rank 2. All food satisfies hunger by an additional 100%. Removed rank 3. Dromedary, rank 2, all drinks quench thirst by an additional 100%. Removes rank 3. Hydrofix, chems restore twice as much thirst. Munchie resistance, chems restore twice as much hunger. Chem Fiend, any chems you take last 100% longer. Point cost increased from 1 to 2. Removes rank 2 and 3. Travel agent, this is a good one. Rank 1, you can fast travel while over encumbered at an increased cost. So you can now fast travel over encumbered. Woo! But it's going to be at an increased cost. Dodgy, rank 1, evade, now costs AP and no longer has a cooldown. Gain plus 5% chance to evade. Point cost increased from 1 to 2. Dev note, the AP cost is 10 times the cooldown time. The cooldown scales with damage avoided, meaning higher damage attacks cost more AP to avoid. If you would not have enough AP to pay for the evade, it cannot occur. Removed ranks 2 and 3. Adrenaline rank 1, gain plus 10% damage for 30 seconds per kill. Duration refreshes with kills. Now only one rank. Science! Old name, Science. Rank 1, increased energy damage based on your intelligence. Point cost increased from 1 to 2. Now only one rank. Pyrotechnical, old name, Science expert. Rank 1, increased fire damage based on your intelligence. Okay. Point cost increased from 1 to 2. Okay, now that makes sense why they changed these names. Because they did mention the crafting. You know, they're changing up the perks once you learned it and stuff. Once you got the plan and learned it. So that's the reason why. So yeah, Cryologist, old name Science Master. This makes it so at rank 1, increased cryo damage based on your intelligence. Point cost increased from 1 to 2. So that is some interesting changes there that will change up some builds. Anyways, Makeshift Warrior. At rank 3, melee weapons break 80% slower. Removed ranks 4 and 5. Gunsmith. At rank 3, guns break 50% slower. Removed ranks 4 and 5. White Knight has been moved from agility to intelligence. Downranger, old name Rifleman. Rank 3, you do plus 20% range damage to far enemies. Scoped up, old name Rifleman Expert. Rank 1, your scoped weapons have 50% more range when aiming. Point cost decreased from 1 to 2, removed ranks 2 and 3. And now Smart Shot, old name Rifleman Master. Rank 1 deals plus 25% weak spot damage while aiming a scoped weapon. Point cost decreased from 1 to 3, removed ranks 2 and 3. And as you know, a lot of things got buffed. It's like the Fixer I was mentioning, got buffed quite a bit. Anyways, carrying on here for the Sniper perk card. Rank 1, gain improved control and hold your breath 70% longer while aiming scopes. Removed ranks 2 and 3. Long Shot. Rank 1, your scope weapons have 30% more range and accuracy when aiming. Removed ranks 2 and 3. Center Masochist. Old name Commando. Rank 1, 25% damage when targeting the torso. Okay, at rank 3, you have 75% range damage when targeting the torso. Fast Fighter. Old name Commando Expert. Rank 1, your movement speed bonus is applied to your reload speed. Point cost decreased from 1 to 2. Remove ranks 2 and 3. Wonder if that applies with Speed Demon, like they stacked or something. Anyways, carrying on here, Number Cruncher, old name Commando Master. Rank 1, weapon damage is increased by AP cost. Point cost increased from 1 to 3. Removed ranks 2 and 3. Ground Pounder, now at rank 3, your small guns reload 30% faster and have better hip fire accuracy. Skeet Shooter for rank 1, your small guns have improved accuracy and spread, and they have removed ranks 2 and 3. So they're keeping it simple. Easy Target, old name Shotgunner. At rank 3, plus 75% range damage to crippled targets. Love the Spread, old name Shotgunner Expert. Rank 1, weapons that fire 3 or more projectiles gain 30% range. Point cost decreased from 1 to 2, removed ranks 2 and 3. Shotgun Champ, old name Shotgun Master. At rank 1, each projectile your weapon fires increases your damage against crippled targets by 10%. Point cost increased from 1 to 3, removed ranks 2 and 3. Scattered Shot. Rank 1, 20% of the damage dealt to a limb is applied to all limbs on your target. Point cost increased from 1 to 2, removed ranks 2 and 3. Moving Target, rank 3, gain plus 15% chance to evade while sprinting, no power armor. Goat Legs, rank 1, take no damage from falling. Removed rank 2. Blood Sacrifice, at rank 4, using AP and VATS now consumes HP instead at 50% more cost. So that's the max, rank 4. Nerd Rage, reduced to a single rank, now costs 2 points at rank 1. Remove the damage resistance effect. What? Rank 1, while your health is low, gain increased damage and AP regen. Now there's quite a bit of legendary mods changes, but for the sake of this video, I'm not going to read all these out. Feel free to pause it if you want. I will say Bloodied increased peak damage bonus from 95% to 130%. There are a few changes in here. 2-shot increased damage buff from 25% to 75%, so 2 shots back on the radar. But yeah, feel free to pause it. Once again, if you're wanting something specific. I got to get through this though, because there's even more down here at the changes that I want to cover. Mutations, Adrenal Reaction, now grants plus 5% damage per kill. 6.25% with Strange in Numbers. Workbench changes, move the following to the Heavy Guns group at the Weapon Workbench. Gauss Minigun, Plasma Caster, Tesla Cannon. Moved Fusion Core from the Chemistry Bench to the Tinker's Bench. And you can now repair items at 100% health if you have the correct perks. Gameplay added setting to change Quick Heal priority. Reduced the cost of fast travel by 25%. Oh, that's nice. Nice! I didn't even know that was a change. I forgot to read that one earlier. That's good to know. Accessibility, we have re-enabled speech to text and text to speech functions. Woo! I know a lot of players are going to be excited about that, especially on PC. I wanted to just note that one. Armor and outfits, changes and fixes. There's quite a bit here. Not reading all those. Feel free to pause it if you want to read them. Camp and Workshop, changes and fixes. There's a lot here to cover. Explosions and projectiles from player camp turrets should no longer damage another player's camp items if not PvP flagged against each other. Hey, that's good for preventing griefing. I figured a lot of you guys aren't really like watching this. You're probably just listening in. So, you know, I'm just trying to read off things for y'all while you guys are doing something else, like it's like an audio log or something. Anyways, carrying on here. Here are the miscellaneous fixes. I'm not going to be reading all these. I didn't see anything about crashing, unfortunately. Feel free to pause it if you want. Here's a good pause. If you want to pause it here to read these. I didn't see nothing about crashing, no. Just letting you know. I know a lot of players are curious about that. I know that is still an issue going on for a lot of players. Anyways, here's the mod changes. This is for the Scrap Rat and Scrap Rat backpack. If you're interested in that, feel free to pause it and read it. Perk cards, I will read these out loud though, these are important. Fix an issue where the invasive perk flyout animation would activate when a player takes damage from environmental hazards. Fix an issue with ghoul perk cards missing their glowing green outline and scorch marks. Update the description for the breathe it in perk to correctly display that it can be up to 0 rad resistance. Bomb Scientist should now correctly work on only grenades. Bomb Scientist now properly drains glow upon use of grenade weapon. Rad Specialist Pip-Boy description now contains accurate effects. Update our sense of humor with new jokes on the perk bubblegum packs. That's interesting. I wonder what kind of new jokes they added. Fix an issue with the radioactive strength applying incorrectly to automatic melee weapons. They also fixed a quest issue. Fixed an issue where players may get stuck needing to talk to Pennington during Wayward Souls. And a lot of UI fixes and weapon fixes. Fixed an issue where players would not be able to repair the Vault 63 laser carbine at the workbench. The Lucky Peace Paint for the Pepper Shaker will now correctly change the name of the weapon after being applied. Fixed an issue with the effects not animating on the Gauss shotgun. The Nuka Dark Paint for the pump action shotgun will now correctly change the name of the weapon after being applied. So that is quite a bit of changes, as you can see here. I'll just scroll back up through all this. Look at all that, guys. We read through most of this. It's insane how much they have been working on with this. But yeah, I guess that's wrapping up this video, everyone. Hopefully you all found this enjoyable. As always, most importantly, appreciate you all taking the time watching and listening. Until next time, peace.